Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. We'll then run through the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. It's a bit of a cooler feel at the moment, but it's going to be warming up quite majorly into the start of next working week. We could be seeing temperatures widely back into the high 20s, low 30s, heat wave conditions widely for many days next week. And we could even be seeing low to mid 30s for some, especially in the south and parts of the West Midlands, southwest England as well. So it is looking like it could be really warm next week. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. So, if we do start on the live radar at the moment, you can see there are a few showers around across northern England and Scotland. Some of them are heavy, a few little thundery showers potentially breaking out as well, but nothing too major, mostly sort of hit and miss. But they are slow moving, so if you are under one, you will know about it, and it could linger for a little while, but most areas are avoiding it. There's plenty of sunshine around, some pop-up clouds. But the big thing today is a slightly fresher feel. Still warm in the south and the east, still getting up into the low 20s, but those temperatures at the surface are more towards average or even slightly below average further northwards. And if we do put on those temperatures, you can see at the moment, those temperatures at 4 p.m, the peak of the day, are not too warm. Some oranges in the south, and that's temperatures into the low 20s, but widely it's high teens to around 20 to 22 degrees. So around average, maybe even, as I said, slightly below average for this time of year. So nothing exceptional, but it is going to be rising quite significantly as we head into next week. So, if we do have a look at the UKV, at the precipitation and the temperature, we'll have a look at the precipitation charts here, and then we'll also run through those temperature charts as well. You'll see that ramp up in temperatures. As you can see, over the course of this afternoon, you see those showers still moving around, but eventually dissipating as we head into tomorrow. Some precipitation across northern Scotland, but lingering only really in the far north throughout the day. Elsewhere, just a bit cloudy and some patchy rain. As we head into Saturday and Sunday, you can see some precipitation heading through again, and through Sunday afternoon, still some precipitation across western Scotland, but elsewhere it is pretty much bone dry, and it will start to increase those temperatures quite rapidly through Monday and Tuesday as high pressure takes control. Now, of course, there are showers here in the north and the west, maybe some persistent rain, but nothing too crazy at this stage, I must say so. And as we head into Wednesday, a bit of precipitation once again in western and northern Scotland, but we're not seeing anything too significant, just a little bit of precipitation there. Elsewhere, dry with a bit of cloud, but nothing too major. If you have a look at those upper air temperatures, you can see they are getting toward the low teens, so 10 to 13 degrees at 850 HBA, so quite warm. As I said, that will give temperatures into the high 20s quite widely, potentially even into the low 30s, maybe mid 30s as we head through to sort of Monday to Friday. If we do have a look at those surface conditions, you can see this afternoon temperatures rising to around that 20 to 23 degree mark, so really quite warm. Elsewhere, mid to high teens, so nothing too crazy, but still, as I said, warm in the south. As we head through to tomorrow, again, quite a similar day, widely high teens, low 20s, around average this time of year, maybe slightly below average in a few spots. And as we head through to Sunday, you can see again those temperatures rising, maybe slightly higher, 25, 26 degrees, and widely high teens, low 20s. So nothing too bad, but still on the up and rising as it peaks next week. And you can see through Monday, this temperature's rising slightly higher. 26, 27 or 28 degrees is possible here, widely back into the 20s, and by Tuesday, the last day, we can have a look on this run, widely mid to high 20s, even touching on 30 degrees in a few spots, so turning very, very warm, if not hot. Now, one thing that is going to happen with this sort of heat wave pattern is those highest temperatures are most likely to be towards the west and the south of the country, and that's because high pressure is building over the top of us with more of an easterly flow, and you can see the air across the North Sea is slightly cooler. What all that will do is, for the eastern half of the country, it will actually cool things down ever so slightly. It'll still be warm, still probably get towards that 30 degree range, but the hotter temperatures are most likely to be positioned much further westwards. So if we do have a look at the GFS, see what that is showing over the next couple of weeks, look at the 6 o'clock run, you see the high pressure building in. Eventually, warm air masses take over, and it goes really quite warm, if not very hot. And it maintains, and you can see a slack easterly flow, and that's where temperatures are most likely to be warmest further westwards. Beyond that, high pressures eventually migrate away, and we do start to see some lower pressure influence and slight changing of air masses beyond day 10. So in well over a week's time, getting towards 10 days time plus. So very far in the future, does like air masses could change, low pressure could run back in, and we could go cooler again from the north or the northwest. But it's so far ahead, we can't take too much of that at this stage. There's a lot of uncertainty. The only thing we can take certainty with is this high pressure building in at the moment with the warm upper air temperatures, and you can see that not too warm at the moment, but eventually rising, turning much warmer, if not hotter, getting towards 15 degrees at 850 HPA, maybe even getting towards 20 degrees at times in the south and the southwest, especially perhaps towards Sunday the 14th. Very warm, if not hot, with those temperatures rising towards the mid-30s, maybe 35, 36 degrees before eventually cooler air does sweep in. Now, if we do have a look at the surface conditions for this, have a look at those 2 meter temperatures at the peak of the day, you'll be able to see Monday, the 8th of August, mid to high 20s, 27, 28 or 29 degrees as we head towards the Tuesday time. You can see again widely high 20s and low 30s, 30 to 32 degrees, looking very hot there. And by Wednesday, once again, those temperatures rising even higher, 31 to 34 degrees. Very, very hot from this GFS run, and very similar on Thursday, 31 to 33, and again that bullseye area is across West Midlands and southwestern England, parts of southern Wales. As we head towards the 12th of August, widely again low to mid 30s, and again Saturday 13th, maybe even higher, 35, 36 degrees, and the 15th, where we saw those temperatures really peak, maybe 36 or 37 degrees on this latest GFS run. And as we head towards the 15th, still very warm, but slightly cooler as cooler air masses are moving in. Widely across France, we'll be back into the 40s. So incredibly hot air coming back up, not quite as hot as the middle of July, I must say so, but it is more persistent, so it could be more severe quite widely. So we'll just have to see exactly how it does play out, but at the moment the GFS is definitely going for quite a sustained hot spell, widely and widespread heatwave conditions with that bullseye area across West Midlands, South Wales and Southwest England. So if we do have a look at the GM, see how that does compare over the next 10 days. Again, high pressure building in, and then you can see it staying over the top of us, a bit of an easterly flow, but for eventually around day 10, lower pressure does spin up. Perhaps slightly faster than the GFS does. So yeah, slightly reduced warm/hot smell, but still we would see that very warm hot air in there. And you can see that warm upper air temperatures consuming the country, 10 to 15 degrees at 850 HPA, maybe even 20 degrees before eventually, in around a week's time, it does get swept away. So maybe only 3 or 4 days of heat there instead of that sort of 5, 6 or 7 days the GFS is going for. So definitely a bit of uncertainty with the exact time frame of this. But both models are going very warm, if not hot. So very, very likely we do see that over the next couple of weeks. So if you have a look at the ECMWF and compare that, again, high pressure building in at the moment, we see it extending up towards Scandinavia, a bit of an easterly flow, and that's why, again, western parts will be the highest in terms of temperatures, and high pressure just stays in control. It doesn't really move around a lot. If we have a look at those upper air temperatures, you can see very warm, 10 to 15 degrees at 850 HPA, for eventually high pressure topples back in with slightly cooler air, but still warm, if not hot. May not be reaching the exact heights of that GFS run, but still would be seeing temperatures in the high 20s, low 30s widely, and maybe isolated 34, 35 degrees, but not that widespread 35 to 38 degrees we saw from the GFS there. So perhaps definitely heatwave conditions, but maybe not as hot as that GFS run is making out to be. Now, if you have a look at the ensembles for that, you can see how temperatures are just on the up, peaking around that 13th to 15th of August range in around 8, 9, 10 days' time. Bit of uncertainty there with how long it lasts. The GFS definitely on one of the warmer ensemble runs, keeping it going to around 20 degrees at 850 HPA, continuing to build that heat. Others dropping it down faster, bringing those temperatures back more in line with average. And yeah, precipitation might come in again as low pressure does run in, so that's something we do need to keep an eye on. Could be a thundery breakdown, but it's so far ahead in the future we can't really look at it too much in detail at this stage. But for the time being, it's looking very warm, heatwave conditions for around starting probably in 3 or 4 days' time, by sort of Sunday, Monday time, and continuing perhaps for the next 7 days beyond that, and could be even longer if we go by the GFS Operational Run. And you can see the 2 meter temperatures, how it just builds all the way up into the low 30s. Could have seen 5-6 days there of low 30s, and again the temperatures will be even higher. The bullseye temperatures will be even higher across the southwest of England. Now, if we do finish the video by just having a look at the ECMWF ensembles and comparing that, again, you can see it rising quite significantly over the next couple of days, and then just staying really warm around that 15-degree mark, all the way from around the 9th to the 17th of August. And yes, 8-day period, very long time to stay with those warm upper air temperatures. You can see some getting towards that 20-degree range, but fewer than the GFS Operational Run was. And you can see the ECMWF Operational Run there is slightly cooler than most of the ensembles. So, of course, we have to take that into account, but it does look very warm, heatwave conditions coming, and I wouldn't be surprised to see widely low 30s, maybe even mid 30s as we head through into the middle of August. And again, you can just compare it at the 2-meter temperatures, looking incredibly warm, rising temperatures all the way back up to the low 30s again, very hot, potentially even quite oppressive, and it's sustained as well, bone dry as well, all the way probably to the 13th, 15th of August. At the least, so not helping the drought conditions we do have in many areas in the south at the moment. So yeah, looking incredibly hot, widely high 20s to low 30s, not quite as extreme as the middle of July yet, but possibility is there for something quite hot, but at the moment it just looks like more typical summer heat wave patterns being really quite prolonged and potentially quite oppressive. So please do make sure you take the necessary precautions, and I'll keep you updated with the exact temperatures as we get nearer to next week. We'll be able to pinpoint exactly the high, whether it be what 30 to 32 or perhaps 35, 36 or higher, as the GFS Operational Run was making it out to be. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.